भारत ये रहना चाहिए. Beginning with these incantations, I wish everyone a good morning and a warm welcome. Today marks a special occasion as we have assembled together to witness the launch of two meaningful initiatives undertaken by Galgotias University under the aegis of Honorable Justice J.R. Mithra, Professor Emeritus and Advisor, School of Law, Galgotias University. We extend our sincerest and heartiest welcome to the Chief Guest, Honorable Dr. Justice Kaushal Jain Thakkar, and Guest of Honor, Senior Advocate, Mr. R.K. Virmani, along with the management and our esteemed guests, in whose presence and supervision today, the School of Law will see the inauguration of an important skill-based course titled Professional Advocacy Skills, and also formally initiate the works of the extension of Free Legal Aid Clinic and Mediation Center. This noble venture is aimed to cater to students as well as teaching and non-teaching staff of Galgotias Group of institutions. A university is one of the strongest pillars of nation building, and it is imperative to inform here that by shouldering this responsibility of upskilling our students and serving the society, Galgotias University has firmly inscribed itself as an eager participant in the movement of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, started by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. The Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav seeks to enliven the narratives of the past and the present and create an enthusiasm for the future. The aim of the Azadi Mahotsav lies beyond Purna Swaraj and in Atmanirbharta. The Mahotsav is being celebrated as a Jan Utsav, and the School of Law, Galgotias University, has sought this instance to emboss its Jan Bhagidari through these highly impactful citizen and student-centric program.
It is not the form but the spirit that keeps justice alive. Keeping this spirit in mind, our university and School of Law has initiated the subject Professional Advocacy Skills that is inclusive of seminal aspects such as communication skills, rational thinking, psychology, mock trials, arbitration, and mediation for practical learning and utility for becoming a practicing advocate. The Legal Aid Clinic and Mediation Center are established with a vision to provide legal awareness of rights and responsibilities, as well as access to justice for all. The Legal Aid Center has adopted the core village, striving towards making it a litigation-free zone and extend our legal aid in the direction where it is more approachable by people in immediate vicinity. When you're at the edge of a cliff, sometimes progress is a step backwards, wherein mediation plays an indispensable role of that art and science which has made an endeavor to become the fastest growing alternative dispute resolution method, one that is increasingly favored to handle varied range of conflicts from personal to family disputes to commercial disagreements, from complex high-value controversies to everyday intrinsic situations. Hence, Galgotia University Mediation Center strives to make community realize the full potential of collaborative conflict resolution by increasing awareness, utilization, and accessibility, making the providers more transparent and to come together to expand the use of mediation. Astoma Sadgamya, Tamsoma Jyotirgamya. All the darkness of the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. And as we embark on this new initiative, leading us from the path of unreal to real, from darkness to light, we request our distinguished dignitaries to come forward for the lighting of the lamp.
I would request all of you to stand and give a standing ovation to the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, and Professor. Thank you. Thank you. Have your seats. भारत की यही तकलीफ है, नेता ने कह दिया ताली बजाओ, अब पूछेंगे नहीं क्यों, वह सुन तो लीजिए। ये इसलिए कहा आपको, nowhere in the country you will find a program with this curriculum, therefore this ovation. Why to justice meet up? As I have been telling many people, India is a slow progressing country. आज सोच कुछ आई है। अगर आप जस्टिस मीरा की 2008 की स्पीच पढ़े तो ये आइडिया उन्होंने उस जमाने में लगाया था, और इसलिए आपके चांसलर और वाइस चांसलर को ओवेशन देने के लिए मैंने कहा, because this is their brainchild which has come to the society today. And your university is the leading university and many of you are the first students. आप प्राइड के साथ कह सकते हो हम ये सीख के आए हैं जो औरों ने नहीं सीखा, कई हाईकोर्ट जजों ने ये नहीं सीखा है। हाँ, थैंक यू। I'll take my seat again.
Atithi Devo Bhava is an integral cultural anthem, deep-rooted in the Indian tradition. Weaving the same into the social fabric today, we would like to begin the inaugural ceremony by extending our deepest regards for our esteemed guests. I request Dr. Preeti Bajaj, Vice Chancellor Galgotias University, to present a bouquet to our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice Kaushal Jayendra Thakkar. Thank you, ma'am. I now request Honorable Professor Justice J.R. Midha, Advisor School of Law, Galgotias University, to present a bouquet to our guest of honor, Senior Advocate Mr. R.K. Virmani, as a small gesture to welcome him. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Preeti Bajaj, Vice Chancellor Galgotias University, to present a bouquet to Justice J.R. Midha. I request Dr. Preeti Bajaj to present a bouquet to Shri Sunil Galgotia, Chancellor, Galgotias University, as a token to welcome him. Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. Namita Singh Malik, Dean, School of Law, to present a bouquet to Professor Emeritus Justice J.R. Midha, Advisor School of Law, Galgotias University. Thank you, ma'am.
Director Operations of Galgotias University, Advocate Aradhna Galgotia, is an alumni of Queen's Mary University, London, wherein her specialization was in intellectual property rights. She has worked with esteemed law firms such as Karanjawala and Company and Bora Advocates. She is an amalgamation of youthful energy and sagacious wisdom, inspiring not only the students in the university, but her expertise and legal skills have also set an example for all aspiring young women. She has become an instrumental pillar in the shaping of Galgotias University School of Law. I now request ma'am to welcome our valued dignitaries.
Thank you, Ms. Vani. A very good morning to all. It's my utmost pleasure today to welcome our chief guest, Honorable Justice Kaushal Jayendra Thakurji, our guest of honor, Senior Advocate, Mr. R.K. Virmani, Professor Emeritus, Galgotias University, Honorable Justice J.R. Mehta, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Dean Law, faculty members and students for the inauguration on the course on professional advocacy skills and extension of free legal aid and mediation center to students and teaching, non-teaching staff of Galgotias group of institutions. At present, India is celebrating its past achievement, taking stock of the present and identifying potential and priorities for the future. During this global showcase, it is important to highlight and acknowledge the need for a specialized skill set required for law graduates. By introducing this course on professional advocacy skills under the aegis of Justice J.R. Mehta, we will be able to well-equip law students in order to excel in the legal field. This course has been designed to initiate reforms in the legal education with special focus on communication, rational thinking, and fundamentals of law. In addition, School of Law, Galgotias University has decided to extend its services of the Legal Aid and Mediation Center to all the teaching and non-teaching staff and the students of Galgotias University. The Legal Aid Clinic and Mediation Center shall be monitored by the teachers and students of School of Law under the able guidance of Justice J.R. Mehta, Professor Emeritus, School of Law, Galgotias University. It is with great pride I welcome our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice K.J. Thakurji. He has a reputation that precedes him. Our respected sir is first an academician and afterwards a judicial officer. Sir is pursuing his postdoctoral degree, which is indicative of his desire to acquire knowledge. I hope that we may emulate this aptitude for learning and aspire to become better professionals. I also want to extend my warm welcome to our guest of honor, Mr. R.K. Virmani ji, who is an AOR, senior advocate, and an eminent professional. His advocacy, mediation, and arbitration training is acclaimed on a national and worldwide scale. We could not have been more fortunate to have him present here for gracing this occasion. On behalf of Galgotias University, we are incredibly indebted to both of you for gracing us with your presence and kind words. It shall be a great moment of honor for our students to hear you speak and share your valuable words with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for setting the stage of the program and welcoming our revered dignitaries.
With an illustrious career spanning almost 3 decades, Dr. Preeti Bajaj presently holds the designation of Vice Chancellor, Galgotias University. Amidst all the administrative responsibilities, she is engaged in many interesting and challenging academic endeavors, including the application of artificial intelligence in healthcare, precision agriculture, and intelligent transportation. These areas in itself are evident of her foresight and the ability to apprehend the world of tomorrow in today's age. Dr. Preeti has vast experience in organizing and chairing both national and international events and has chaired numerous academic and regulatory conventions of great repute. Most recently, under her able leadership, Galgotias University has attained A+ accreditation by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council in its very first cycle. May I now request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Preeti Bajaj, to commence the function by addressing this gathering.
कितनों की तकदीर बदलना है तुम्हें, कितनों को रास्तों पे लाना है तुम्हें, अपने हाथों की लकीरों को ना देखो, इन लकीरों से आगे जाना है तुम्हें। A very good morning to everyone. On behalf of Galgotias University, I extend warm welcome to Honorable Dr. Justice Kaushal Jayesh Thakkar, Judge, High Court of Judiciary, Allahabad, Honorable Mr. Rajiv Varmani, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court of India as guest of honor, Honorable Chancellor Shri Sunil Galgotia, Honorable Justice J.R. Midha, former Judge, Delhi High Court and Professor Emeritus, Galgotias University, Ms. Aradhana, Director Operations, Dean, School of Law, Dr. Namita Singh Malik, distinguished guest of Judiciary, Registrar, Pro Vice Chancellor, Deans, Directors, and heads of the department of various schools, the students of law. Very good morning. It brings me tremendous pleasure to partake in the joy and pride of the management, staff, students of Galgotias University for the extension of Legal Aid Clinic and Mediation Center services, introduction of school course on professional advocacy in School of Law. Time has come up to strengthen the forum for financially weaker and needy people who can seek the advice, the legal advice, timely and correctly, and most of the time it should happen outside the courts. And also to conclude on a positive note, it gives me immense pleasure to be here this morning to be part of this inauguration of course on professional advocacy skills and extension of free legal aid clinic and mediation center to students and teaching and non-teaching staff of Galgotias group of institutions being organized by School of Law. In law schools, training to various alternative dispute resolutions methods like arbitration, conciliation, the mediation, judicial settlement and lok adalat are being taught to the students, and mediation is the most common. Though the present state of mediation procedure practice in most of the countries can be tracked back to establishment to the grassroots justice, but since ancient time, the practice of outside court settlement is very popular, and especially in the India wherein we believe in Panchayat Raj and Chowpals. With the expertise of the legal knowledge, the students also can directly contribute to the society and minimize the court's burden from trial and civil disputes. Awareness of reaching this initiative to the ground root level, I congratulate the School of Law and especially express my gratitude to Honorable Justice Midha for taking this. Knowledge of local languages shall always play the major and pivotal role and shall be impactful for these community-centric programs. I request the Legal Aid Center to maintain the database of the students who can speak locally, for especially the regional languages, which can make the center to be more effective. Last, I would like to end with Mahatma Gandhi. In his autobiography, he has mentioned, in the story of my experiments with the truth, while writing his experiences in the South Africa, my joy was boundless. I had learned the true practice of law. I had learned to find out the better side of human nature to enter the men's heart. I realized the true function of the lawyer was unite the parties riven as under, and that the lesson was so indelibly burnt into me, and that a large part of my time during the 20 years of my practice as a lawyer was occupied in bringing these private compromises of hundreds of the cases. I lost nothing thereby, not even money, certainly not my soul. And finally, I would say and conclude with Vivekananda's 2 words: work is inevitable. It must be so, but we must work for the right purpose. Thank you. Once again, welcome to Galgotias.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such inspiring, energetic, youthful, literary lines to take us forward. May I now request our Chancellor, Galgotias University, Shri Sunil Galgotia, to please share his thoughts and bless us in this new venture.
A very good afternoon to all of you. It's indeed an honor to have such a humble Justice Thakkar Sahab amongst us. he was able to spare his time to visit our university in spite of his packed schedule. It's very rare that you come across a justice who is so humble and he is so concerned about the welfare of the students. And I'm sure his talk here would be very inspiring. And we are also very fortunate that we have Justice Midha amongst us, who is a constant source of guidance to our law department. He is very innovative in his thinking, and we are trying to follow his guidance. And his Justice of Midha has always been to make Galgotias School of Law as the best, not only in the country, but in the entire world. And I'm sure with his guidance and his blessings, we will achieve that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. We really needed these blessings to move forward. After serving 13 years as Justice of Delhi High Court and passing several landmark judgments, Honorable Mr. Justice J.R. Mitha reclaimed his passion for teaching by joining Galgotias University as Professor Emeritus and Advisor, School of Law. He has been appointed as an arbitrator by the Delhi High Court and is in the panel of arbitrators of Delhi International Arbitration Center, Indian Council of Arbitration and Indian Dispute Resolution Center. To share his expertise, Honorable Justice Midha has been invited as a resource person for training of judges in National Judicial Academy as well as state judicial academies. Oft-cited books on amendments to Code of Civil Procedure and Motor Accidents Claim Referencer are some of his significant books. Your Lordship, we are privileged to be under the supervision of such an exemplary visionary. May I now request Honorable Justice J.R. Mitha, sir, to kindly shed light on the thoughts behind the inauguration of the Professional Advocacy course and the Legal Aid and Mediation Center.
Honorable Dr. Justice K.J. Thakur, a great jurist. Mr. R.K. Virmani, Senior Advocate, guest of honor for today's session. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Preeti Bajaj. Honorable Chancellor, Mr. Sunil Galgotia. Director Operations, Aradhana Galgotia. And Dean Dr. Namita Singh Malik, the teachers, students, and all participants present here. Today is a great day. A new era is starting in the legal education. I rewind and go back to 12th July 21. After retiring on 7th July, I immediately joined Galgotias University on 12th July. So I've almost completed a little more than 1 year. And on 12th July, my session, on that day, I had a session with the teachers who were present. And on that day, my session was that the legal education in our country is not comprehensive. A law graduate is not a complete lawyer, is not market ready if on day one, whereas in other professions, after completing the course, a doctor is a complete doctor, engineer is a complete engineer, doctor is a complete doctor, but a law graduate is not a lawyer. On day one, he can't go and conduct. And I had spoken on this, the vision on that day, 12th July, I am again recapitulating. Most important skill of a lawyer is communication skill. How to communicate. And communication skill means art of listening, then thinking before speaking, then speaking with emotions. But communication skill is not part of the law curriculum. Second important skill is rational thinking. That itself is a science. By studying law, statutory laws, you don't understand rational thinking. Rational thinking is totally different science. And in September last year, we had lecture series where we invited Dr. Arun Mohan, Senior Advocate of Delhi High Court. Then we invited Professor Mohan Gopal, then Justice Adarsh Goel, and then my lecture was also there. We had discussed, and Dr. Arun Mohan gave very nice insight. He said, for a lawyer, law is only 35%. 65% is non-law. And out of 35% also, 94% is fact of each case what the lawyer is conducting. 6% is the law. And 6% is the analysis and rational thinking, and 1% is law. So therefore, merely by studying the hardcore law and statutory laws, you don't become a lawyer. And very nice difference which I always say in my lectures, and I'll share today in the presence of the dignitaries on the dais. What is the difference in legal profession and all other professions in this world? In all other professions, the professional, when he charges his fees, he has to deliver. Engineer has to construct a house when he takes the fees. Architect has to make a plan. Doctor has to conduct a surgery. CA has to file the return. But what is the lawyer doing? He is first talking to the client, then he is talking to the judge. And when the client says कि जी मुझे आप क्या दे रहे हो, वो कहता है मैं कुछ नहीं दे रहा. ये जज साहब को केस समझ में आ गया तो ये ऑर्डर देंगे, नहीं तो हम अपील फाइल करेंगे. तो आप किस चीज के पैसे ले रहे हो? हम जी बात करने के, रैशनली बात करने के हम पैसे ले रहे हैं. और कितने पैसे? जितने ना कोई इंजीनियर ले पा रहा है, ना कोई डॉक्टर ले पा रहा है. अगर आप टॉप लॉयर्स हमारे कंट्री को एक तरफ खड़ा करते हो, एक तो मिंटिंग मशीन रख दें, तो मिंटिंग मशीन शायद उसका वो कट ऑफ बंद हो जाएगा, बट वो फीस नहीं है. तो इसका मतलब सिर्फ बात करने के पैसे. तो इसका मतलब बात करने की इतनी मोहक होनी चाहिए, इतनी मनमोहक होनी चाहिए जिससे आप बात करो वो जो है हिप्नोटाइज हो जाए. और हमने पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट के कोर्सेज भी कंडक्ट किए यहाँ पर, और उसमें यह है कि बोलने से पहले जो है बोलना भी. एक मिस्टर सुमित चंद्र है यहाँ पर जिन्होंने लेक्चर्स लिए, वो कह रहे हैं बोलना भी जो है इट इज ओनली 8%. बिना बोले ही आप यू शुड बी एबल टू इंप्रेस समबडी. तो ये एक आर्ट है. अगर यही सबसे बड़ी कला है लॉयर की, तो क्यों ना उसको एक वो कला सिखाई जाए जिससे वो जो है वो इंप्रेस कर पाए. एक और डिफरेंस जुडिशियल सर्विस, अब जुडिशियल कैरियर में और बाकी कैरियर में क्या फर्क है वो मैं कई बार एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ. आज पार्टिसिपेंट सबके सामने, डिग्निटी सामने शेयर करूंगा. जितनी जॉब्स हैं दुनिया की, उन सब जॉब्स में और जुडिशियल जज की जॉब में ये फर्क है कि हर जॉब में, चाहे वो हाईएस्ट पोस्ट आप ले लीजिए कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरी की या पुलिस कमिश्नर की, ही हैज टू एक्ट ऑन इंस्ट्रक्शंस एंड देन गिव आंसर्स कंटिन्यूअसली. पुलिस कमिश्नर कांट टेल दी होम मिनिस्टर की जी मुझे इंस्ट्रक्शंस नहीं देंगे आप, या कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरी नहीं कह सकता प्राइम मिनिस्टर को कि मुझे इंस्ट्रक्शन मत दीजिए. ऑल्दो अंडर लॉ ही इज नॉट बाउंड टू फॉलो इलीगल इंस्ट्रक्शंस, बट ही हैज टू एक्ट ऑन इंस्ट्रक्शंस. जज की एक ऐसी पोस्ट है जहां पे उसको ना तो सुबह किसी इंस्ट्रक्शन लेनी है, ना किसी को जवाब देना है. उससे दोनों साइड का केस सुनना है, और सुन के उसने अपनी आत्मा की आवाज लेनी है और सच का पता लगाना और डिसाइड करना है. तो जज का काम जो है वो सर्च फॉर ट्रूथ, सत्य की खोज. और सत्य की खोज अगर आदमी स्पिरिचुअली करे तो एब्सोल्यूट ट्रूथ इज गॉड ओनली. अब सवाल ये उठता है कि ये सारी बातें मैंने 26 साल वकालत की हाई कोर्ट में और बाकी कोर्ट्स में 1982 से लेके 2008 तक, तब एज ए लॉयर ये चीज समझ नहीं आई, ना किसी ने समझाई। तो एज ए लॉयर ये चीज नहीं क्लियर होती कि क्या एक परफेक्शन, हाउ टू अटेन परफेक्शन इन लीगल प्रोफेशन। ये तो जब 13.5 साल हाई कोर्ट में एज ए जज रहा तो वहां पे देखा कि हमारी क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है, हम क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं। तो मेरे विचार से तो अल्टीमेट कंज्यूमर ऑफ द लीगल सर्विसेज ऑफ ए लॉयर इज ए जज। तो जज ही कुर्सी पे बैठ के देखता है कि ये लॉयर से वो क्या एक्सपेक्ट करता है। तो मेरी जज की जो एक्सपीरियंस रहा उसमें ये मैं निष्कर्ष पे पहुंचा कि भाई ये कम्युनिकेशन स्किल लैक कर रहे हैं, रैशनल थिंकिंग भी लैक कर रहे हैं, फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ लॉ की क्लैरिटी भी नहीं है। तो ये सारी चीजें अगर हम लीगल एजुकेशन में ऐड करें तो वी कैन मेक ए परफेक्ट लॉयर। और फिर मैंने देखा ये कहीं पढ़ाया ही नहीं जाना। तो फिर मैं 12 जुलाई वाले मेरे जो यहाँ पे ज्वाइनिंग का मेरा एक सेशन था और फिर उसके बाद सितंबर वाला लेक्चर, उसमें यही था कि हम लीगल एजुकेशन में ये चीज़ें ऐड करें। वो चीज़ें फिर हमने इस साल के करिकुलम से हमने एडवोकेसी स्किल का सब्जेक्ट इंक्लूड किया, जिसके अंदर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल, रैशनल थिंकिंग, साइकोलॉजी, ड्रामेटिक्स, फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ लॉ, इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ ऑल लॉज एंड पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट, ये सब हमने इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दिया, जो हम आज जिस कोर्स का हम इनॉग्रेशन कर रहे हैं। तो मेरे ख्याल से ये एक बहुत बड़ा दिन है यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए, स्कूल ऑफ लॉ के लिए और हमारे देश की लीगल एजुकेशन के लिए, कि जहाँ पे हम एक ऐसी सोच और एक ऐसा एक शुरू कर रहे हैं जिससे जो है एक परफेक्ट लीगल एजुकेशन है। और एक और फर्क है लीगल प्रोफेशन में और बाकी प्रोफेशंस में। लीगल प्रोफेशन में जो लॉयर की परफॉर्मेंस है वो डे 1 में पब्लिक डोमेन में आ जाती है, जबकि बाकी प्रोफेशंस में डॉक्टर है या इंजीनियर है वो 20 साल बाद पता चलेगा कि ये इंडिया का बड़ा डॉक्टर है या बहुत बड़ा इंजीनियर है या बहुत बड़ा आर्किटेक्ट है, बिकॉज उसकी परफॉर्मेंस कमरे में बैठ के काम कर रहा है, पब्लिक डोमेन में नहीं है। लेकिन लॉयर की प्रोफेशन जो परफॉर्मेंस है वो जैसे फिल्म और क्रिकेट में होती है, वो डे वन में पब्लिक डोमेन में आ गई। यानी कि मेरा जो एक विजन था, जो मैं हमेशा सबसे शेयर करता हूँ, कि अगर किसी लॉ स्टूडेंट को पूरा ट्रेन कर दिया जाए और पहले केस में चीफ जस्टिस को बताया जाए कि ये बच्चा पहला केस आर्ग्यू करेगा और ये मिस्टर हरीश साल्वे की तरह या जो है गोपाल सुब्रमण्यम की तरह या डॉक्टर सिंघवी की तरह आर्ग्यू करेगा, और उस दिन वो ऐसा परफॉर्म करके दिखा दे जो दुनिया में किसी ने परफॉर्म ही ना किया हो, उन सबसे बढ़िया कर दे, तो उसके बाद फिर उसको चमकने में फिर वो 20 साल वेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है। जैसे क्रिकेट में पहले टेस्ट मैच में अगर वो मान लो 500 रन बना दे, आउट ही ना हो, तो नंबर 1 हो जाएगा ना दुनिया का। इट डजंट हैव टू वेट फॉर 20 ईयर्स। सिमिलरली फिल्म में भी पहली फिल्म में वो ऐसा काम कर दे दुनिया में किसी ने नहीं किया हो। तो ये पब्लिक डोमेन में उसकी परफॉर्मेंस डे 1 पे है। तो मेरी तो जो विजन है वो ये है कि बच्चा इतना काबिल हो जाए जिससे वो बात करे वो उससे मुक्त हो जाए। तो एक इंटर्नशिप हमने जून में की 9 स्टूडेंट्स की मेरे ऑफिस में, जिसमें हमने बच्चों को यही ट्रेन किया कि आप बात करने का तरीका ही चेंज कर दो, जिससे बात करो वो मोहित हो जाए। मैंने कहा घर बात जाके पेरेंट्स से बात करो, उसमें ड्रामा भी इन्वॉल्व है, तो हम इसमें ड्रामेटिक्स भी उसको ऐड कर रहे हैं। जस्टिस नागेश्वर राव ने अपनी रिटायरमेंट स्पीच में कहा कि मैं जो है अपने लॉ डे से पहले आई वॉज एक्टिंग इन फिल्म्स और एक्टिंग हेल्प मी। और देखा जाए तो ड्रामा ही है, हम पूरा दिन जो है डिफरेंट रोल परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं। सामने जैसे ही वो चेंज होता है सीन, हम रोल डिफरेंट कर देते हैं। सर्वेंट से बात कर रहे हैं तो अलग तरीके से कर रहे हैं, सामने मास्टर आ जाए अलग तरीके से कर रहे हैं, कोई और आ जाए अलग तरीके से कर रहे हैं। तो होल लाइफ इज ए ड्रामा। देन साइकोलॉजी, आर्ट ऑफ रीडिंग द माइंड, art of reading the mind of the judge, art of reading mind of the opposite lawyer। मैं कई लॉयर से पूछता हूँ, मैंने कहा देखो ये बताओ कि अगर आप कोर्ट में जाते हो और बड़ा सेंसिबली आर्ग्यू कर रहे हो, बड़ी अच्छी बात आर्ग्यू कर रहे हो, बड़े तमीज से कर रहे हो, और जज आपकी बात नहीं समझता, इंसल्ट कर देता है, फाइल फेंक देता है, कहता है आपको लॉ ही नहीं आता, तो कैसे हैंडल करोगे हॉस्टाइल कोर्ट में? तो कईयों ने कहा कि जी हम कोर्ट में गए, अभी नई नई वकालत शुरू की, बड़ी इंसल्ट हो गई, हम उस कोर्ट में ही नहीं जाएंगे। मैंने कहा इसका मतलब वो आपको आर्ट ही नहीं आई, आपके पास वो फोल्डर होना चाहिए। देयर कैन बी हॉस्टाइल कोर्ट, जैसी ऐसी सिचुएशन आपने वो फोल्डर खोला, उसको हैंडल कर लिया, और वो आर्ट हमें सिखानी चाहिए उसको शुरू में ही कि क्या आर्ट है उसको सीखने की। तो आज हम एक ऐसा नया दौर शुरू कर रहे हैं जिसमें लीगल एजुकेशन में सारी चीजें हम ऐड करेंगे। बट एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात यह है कि सिर्फ सिखाने से सब हर आदमी नहीं बन जाएगा बिल्कुल डे वन पे। जब तक आपकी कमिटमेंट नहीं होगी, आपने ये डिसाइड कर लिया कि जी मैंने सीखना ही नहीं, ग्रो ही नहीं करना, मैंने चेंज ही नहीं करना, मैं जैसे बोल रहा हूँ वैसे ही बोलूंगा, मैं जैसे बिहेव कर रहा हूँ वैसे ही करूंगा, तो फिर तो कोई आपका कुछ नहीं कर सकता। तो इसलिए लीगल एजुकेशन या कोई भी एजुकेशन हो, उसमें जो टीचर का 50% रोल है, स्टूडेंट का भी इक्वली 50% कमिटमेंट होनी चाहिए कि मैंने जो है इसमें करके दिखाना है। और मेरा तो ये मानना है कि हाई कोर्ट जजेस को रिटायर होकर टीचिंग में जरूर आना चाहिए। मेरा तो एक पैशन था जिसकी वजह से।
हम यूजीसी को कहो ना, आप तो आने को तैयार है। यूजीसी को कहेंगे जो पुरानी सिस्टम थी कि 10 साल वकालत की, you can teach in the law college।
नहीं, वो अभी भी है, नहीं वो बार काउंसिल रूल्स में अभी भी है।
नहीं है,
बार काउंसिल रूल्स में अभी एलएलबी
रूल्स में है, इसलिए मैंने ये नहीं कहा, सॉरी टू कट यू, बट we are guided by UGC, the colleges। मैंने कल ये जो 5 ईयर के प्रणेता है तो यही कहा, when he asked me what is the difference between those days and these days, मैंने कहा एक ही तकलीफ है, उस जमाने में आप पढ़ाने जा सकते थे, आज अगर आपको जॉब चाहिए आपको नहीं मिलेगी, because you are a simple LLM, you are not LLM with 55%, you don't have NEET, you don't have PhD, you don't have this। नहीं, मैं मेरा आवाज बात
नहीं, नॉट एट ऑल।
आप कर सकते हो, भारत में अगर कोई करना चाहे तो जस्टिस मीडिया करता है। आप में इतनी क्षमता है।
Thank you brother, thank you very much, I am grateful for the honor you are showing on me। एक और पहलू मैं लीगल प्रोफेशन के बारे में हाईलाइट करूं। सिर्फ लीगल नॉलेज, देखिए अल्टीमेटली लीगल प्रोफेशन किस चीज का है? लीगल प्रोफेशन में हमने अल्टीमेटली क्या करना है? हमें सच को ढूंढना है कि सच क्या है, और हमारे पास डिवाइन आई नहीं है कि हम वो तीसरी आंख खोल लें और देख लें भी क्या हुआ था। और सिर्फ लॉ से आंसर नहीं निकलता। अगर एक इंप्रेशन ये हो कि भाई हमने लॉ पढ़ लिया, लॉ समझ लिया तो हम लॉयर बन गए, वो नहीं हुआ। सब्सटेंटिव लॉ तो हमें ये बताता है कि क्या राइट्स है, क्या ड्यूटीज है। मान लीजिए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, वो बताएगा भी क्या वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, क्या वॉइड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, क्या वॉइडेबल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है। आईपीसी ये बताएगा क्या ऑफेंस है, क्या ऑफेंस नहीं है, क्या इंग्रेडिएंट है। सब्सटेंटिव लॉ तो हमें ये बताएगा क्या राइट्स है, क्या ऑब्लिगेशंस है। सीपीसी, सीआरपीसी, प्रोसीजर लॉ ये बताएगा क्या हमें रूल्स फॉलो करने हैं, क्या पाथ फॉलो करना है। एविडेंस एक्ट हमें ये बताएगा कि किसने प्रूव करना है, किसके ऊपर ओनर्स है, कौन एविडेंस लीड करेगा, कैसे ओनर शिफ्ट होगा, कैसे क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन होगा। पर जब हमें अल्टीमेटली सच निकालना है, इसमें एक लाहौर हाई कोर्ट के चीफ जस्टिस मुनीर, उनकी एविडेंस की बुक है लॉ ऑफ एविडेंस। उसमें इंट्रोडक्शन उन्होंने बड़ा अच्छा चीफ जस्टिस मुनीर ने बुलाया। उसने कहा कि भाई एक कोई केस आया तो सब्सटेंटिव लॉ हमने अप्लाई कर दिया, सब्सटेंटिव लॉ ने बता दिया भी क्या राइट्स हैं, क्या लायबिलिटीज हैं, क्या ऑब्लिगेशंस हैं। प्रोसीजर लॉ से हमने पाथ फॉलो कर लिया। एविडेंस एक्ट के हिसाब से हमने जो है वो एविडेंस लीड कर दिया, बट लास्ट में जब तराजू उठा के हम जस्टिस करेंगे, उस वक्त दुनिया का कोई लॉ हमें गाइड नहीं करेगा कि भाई क्या क्या सच था और क्या सच है और कैसे सच तक पहुंचना है। और फिर उन्होंने एग्जाम्पल दिया बड़ा सुंदर। एक वो जजमेंट एक मेरी जजमेंट है जो यूनिवर्सिटी की वेबसाइट पे है, वेद प्रकाश खरबंदा के नाम से, जिसमें मैंने पूरी रिसर्च की है कि व्हाट इज ट्रूथ एंड हाउ टू डिस्कवर ट्रूथ। और चीफ जस्टिस,
all of you should read this judgment. Go to the website, go to Google, वेद प्रकाश खरबंदा। पहले आपको ये लगेगा कि ये कौन से सब्जेक्ट पे है, क्यों ये सब लिखा है, why all this? मुझे भी ये लगा था। When I started going deep into it, I thought, no, this is not waste of time. This is not verbosity. This is what the judge wants to convey, and that is what a judge should do. I really thank you for that, Kalbanda judgment. मेरी 2 मिनट की स्पीच इसी में आ गई।
एक मैं परसों का इंसिडेंट बताऊं। परसों एक
This is because I have not learned the art of skill. I have not learned art of skill.
we are deeply honored.
सिखाया जाता था जब हम बच्चे थे लॉ कॉलेज में, सामने वाला बहस करता हो तो उसको इतनी उंगली करो। अब वो दौर नहीं रहा है, वो ट्राई न कीजिएगा। हाँ, कहीं खुदा न खास्ता 1 साल में आप लोग अधिवक्ता बन जाए और जल्लाद की कोर्ट में आ जाए।
इसी इन्होंने जज साहब ने मुझे रिमाइंड करा दिया एक और बात। जज साहब ने मुझे एक और बात रिमाइंड करा दी। यहाँ पे जब प्रोफेसर मोहन गोपाल ने लेक्चर दिया तो उसका टोटल लेक्चर का टॉपिक उन्होंने रखा वाई लीगल एजुकेशन, और उनके पूरे लेक्चर का क्रक्स ये था कि 2 तरह का जीने के 2 तरीके हैं, 2 तरह का माइंड है। एक ओबीडियंट माइंड जिसमें आप ओबे करते हो चीजों को, ठीक है ना, जैसे मिलिट्री में, आर्मी में, पुलिस में। एक है ऑब्जेक्टिंग माइंड, लिटिगेटिंग माइंड। हर चीज को आपने क्वेश्चन करना है, क्वेश्चनिंग माइंड। उसने कहा कि अगर आपको वकील बनना है तो यू शुड हैव ए क्वेश्चनिंग माइंड। हर चीज को आपने क्वेश्चन करना है। और ये फिलॉसफी जो है, ये जिसको मैं अब लिंक करता हूँ, वो फिलॉसफी है बुद्धा's फिलॉसफी। बुद्धा की पूरी फिलॉसफी ये है कि डोंट बिलीव एनीथिंग। बाकी धर्म कहते हैं कि आप बिलीव करो ईश्वर में, बुद्धा कहते हैं नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं बिलीव करना, किसी चीज को बिलीव नहीं करना। जो मैं कहता हूँ वो भी बिलीव नहीं करना, उसको भी क्वेश्चन करो, और जब तक आपको उसका प्रूफ ना मिल जाए, आप सेटिस्फाई ना हो जाओ, उसने एक्सेप्ट नहीं करना। तो मोहन गोपाल जी का यही इनका जो, अब ये देखिए, दिस इज हाउ यू लर्न क्वेश्चनिंग माइंड। हर चीज को आप क्वेश्चन कर रहे हो, यू आर नॉट बिलीविंग एनीथिंग। और इट इज नॉट ओनली लॉ, लाइफ में पूरा दिन आपके सामने कोई चीज आए, हर एक चीज को आप क्वेश्चन कर रहे हो, तो आपका रैशनल थिंकिंग डेवलप हो जाएगा। रैशनल थिंकिंग डेवलप हो गए, आप उसमें हो जाओगे। इससे पिछले वाले टॉपिक को लास्ट क्लोज करते हुए एक एग्जांपल दूं मैं। बड़ा 3 दिन पहले मेरे ऑफिस में एक कोई मेरे को मिलने आए एक लॉयर जिन्होंने एलएलएम कर लिया था और जुडिशियल सर्विस का एग्जाम दिया, उसमें उनका रिजल्ट अभी अवेटेड है, प्रीलिम्स क्लियर किया हुआ है। तो उनके साथ लॉ के ऊपर चर्चा हो गई। तो मैंने उनको बड़ा सिंपल कहा, मैंने कहा देखो, 3 लॉज तो हम पढ़ते हैं। एक तो है सब्सटेंटिव लॉ जो हमें बताएगा क्या राइट्स है, एक प्रोसीजरल लॉ, सीपीसी सीआरपीसी क्या लॉ फॉलो करेंगे, तीसरा एविडेंस लॉ जो बर्डन बताएगा। मैंने कहा पर ये बताओ कि जस्टिस कैसे करोगे। मैंने उनको एग्जांपल दिया, मैंने कहा देखो ये मेरे ऑफिस में लॉ रिसर्चर है, इसने केस फाइल किया कि भाई मैंने लोन दिया है ऑफिस में दूसरे एसोसिएट को 10,000 का कैश लोन, इसको जरूरत थी और ये वापस नहीं कर रहा, और जिसके ऊपर केस किया वो कहता है मैंने तो लोन लिया नहीं। उस टाइम को विटनेस दिया, कैश में लोन है, और दोनों जने विटनेस बॉक्स में आते हैं, दोनों का क्रॉस हो जाता है 2 घंटे, क्रॉस में दोनों नहीं टूटते, अपनी बात पड़े रहते हैं। मैंने कहा पहले ये बताओ कि कैसे जस्टिस करोगे, नंबर 2 कैसे आप उसको डिसाइड करोगे कि क्या सच है। तो कहने लगे जी मैंने तो सारी तो जुडिशियल सर्विस तैयारी कर ली, लॉ सारे पढ़ लिए, इसका जवाब तो मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा। मैंने कहा जब आ जाए तब बताना मेरे को। उनका फिर रात को मुझे मैसेज आता है, वो कहते हैं जी आपने जो सवाल पूछा था बड़ा मुझे डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है, इसका आंसर क्या है। मैंने कहा आप वेद प्रकाश खरबंदा की जजमेंट पढ़ो, उसमें आपको आंसर मिलेगा, व्हाट इज ट्रुथ एंड हाउ टू डिस्कवर ट्रुथ। देखिए एक एंगल से देखो तो सच पता करने की कला हम सब में है बचपन से। आपके घर में जब आपका दोस्त झूठ बोलता है, पेरेंट झूठ बोलते हैं, ब्रदर सिस्टर झूठ बोलते हैं, पता चल जाता है ना, सर्वेंट झूठ बोलता है पता चल जाता है ना, किसी ने सिखाया नहीं। उसी कला को जो हमें सच पता करने की कला है उसी को शार्पन करना है और क्वेश्चनिंग माइंड में ले जाके हमने उसको आगे करना है। तो आज के हमारे चीफ गेस्ट एक बहुत बड़े जूरिस्ट हैं और हमारे गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर मिस्टर वर्मानी एक बहुत उच्च कोटि के अधिवक्ता हैं, जिन्होंने, मेरा सौभाग्य है इनके साथ मेरा बहुत अच्छा घनिष्ठ संबंध है। ये जो है इनको दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट की तरफ से इनवाइट किया गया था टू कम ऑन द बेंच, और ये ब्रिटिश काउंसिल से जुड़े हुए हैं और ब्रिटिश काउंसिल के एडवोकेसी स्किल सब्जेक्ट में इन्होंने दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में जो एडवोकेट्स हैं उनको ट्रेनिंग कराते हैं, जो हम कोर्स यहाँ करवा रहे हैं। और 6,000 से ऊपर एडवोकेट्स को ये ट्रेन कर चुके हैं। और मेरे दोनों बच्चों ने जब लॉ किया तो मैंने उनको कहा पहले इनका कोर्स करो, तो उन्होंने इनका हाई कोर्ट में इनके अंडर कोर्स किया, और उस कोर्स में इन्होंने कई बार मेरे को भी वहाँ पे इनवाइट किया जब मैं हाई कोर्ट में था, बड़ा अच्छा ऑनर दिया इन्होंने। तो आज इनके पास भी है, तो आज मैं और समय ना लेते हुए मैं चाहूँगा कि इनसे हम जितना ज्ञान आज प्राप्त करें इन दोनों जूरिस्ट से, तो वो बहुत बड़े सौभाग्य की बात है। ये आज थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you so much, sir.
Professor is supposed to speak for 45 minutes.
Thank you so much, sir, for your passion in academics that you brought to light today, the vision that we are fulfilling today by inaugurating the professional advocacy course and the Legal Aid and Mediation Center. Thank you for reminding us that not just obedience but interrogation is also a very valued quality, especially in law. And thank you for warning us that without the commitment, none of them can be accomplished. Thank you.
Getting inspired from Sir's pearls of wisdom, I am reminded of few lines. कौन कहता है आसमानों में सुराख हो नहीं सकते, एक पत्थर तो तबीयत से उछालो यार। Our goals can only be reached through vehicle of a plan in which we must fervently believe and upon which we must vigorously act. There is no other route to success which is enshrined in the relentless efforts of diverse legal, judicial and administrative personnel. Thus, it is the apt moment to acknowledge perseverance behind such endeavors and invite our distinguished chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice Kaushal Jayendra Thakurji, Guest of Honor, Senior Advocate Mr. R.K. Virmani, and Professor Emeritus School of Law, Honorable Justice J.R. Midha, to unveil the internship report and compilation of new laws relating to motor accident claims. performance has infilled us with immense pride. Thank you all for such a glorifying moment.
It is an honor to have with us Mr. Rajiv K. Virmani, Senior Advocate, New Delhi. Barrister Virmani specializes in court litigation and advises both domestic and international arbitration matters. Having started his legal practice in the year 1981 with Khaitan and Company, Mr. Virmani began with independent practice in 1983. He was designated a senior advocate in the year 2009 and prior to that qualified as an advocate on record. Since the inception of the Professional Advocacy Skills Training Program in 2002, Sir has been the lead trainer of it in India. This program, part of an Indo-British project on advocacy skills training, was initiated by honorable judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court of Delhi in collaboration with British Council and Inns of Court Advocacy Training Committee, UK. He has participated in training of more than 6,000 advocates across the country in various courts, including the Apex Court. At the inception of the course in our university today, we look forward to gaining professional insight and advice to maintain the highest standards in the Professional Advocacy Skills course. May I now request Sir to kindly enlighten us with your wondrous expertise and experience.
That's right. Honorable Dr. Justice K.J. Thakur.
Thank you.
Honorable Justice J.R. Midha. Honorable the Chancellor. Honorable the Vice Chancellor. Aradhana ji. Namita ji. Distinguished faculty members. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, and dear students. It's indeed a matter of privilege for me that you've invited me to be here as part of the university. Now, the question is, what are the skills? Justice Midha has already given you in detail a complete background of what is it that we are aiming at. So my talk to you is only going to be supplementary. I was told that I have to take 20 minutes starting at 12:15 and ending at 12:35. So we are already past 12:35 and I'm thankful that my time is over. But rest assured, I'm going to spend some time with you today. So the question which arises is, what are the skills that we are talking of? How are these different from the subjects that you study every day in your classes? And what is the utility of these skills? Justice Midha has already spoken in great detail about it, and I will also make an attempt to explain to you what is it that we are looking at now in this new course. As a student of law, you are learning various substantive laws, procedural laws like Contract Act, Transfer of Property Act, Indian Penal Code, Civil Procedure Code, isn't it? Haven't you read it already? Yes? Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So, what do you put this knowledge to? What kind of use would you like to put this knowledge to? A client comes to you, you look at it, it's a case of breach of contract. You have studied the law of contract. You say, yes, I know that this is a case relating to law of contract. But beyond that, what? Think of a situation. You board an aircraft and the pilot announces, welcome ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this flight. And I have studied flying from a university or a flying school in Australia, and I do not have any flying experience. This is going to be my first flight. So would you continue to sit in the aeroplane, or would you just say where is the emergency exit?
कोई चारा होगा? इसका कोई चारा है? ये सब देखिए, साहब ने बॉक्सेस लगाए रखे, कोई बात नहीं.
Well, then some of you would be sitting on the emergency exit and can definitely scoot from there. So that tells you the importance of skills. If you're not skilled, the knowledge is there, but it's not complete. So the question is, I come back to what I asked at the very outset, what is it that we are talking about? You've understood a problem, you prepare a brief, you file a petition in the court, you have to lead evidence, you have to address arguments before the judge. But how do you achieve that? Who teaches you that? Well, you have a course, you have a subject in drafting, you participate in moot courts, but are they sufficient? Answer would be no. We do not have, for instance, a structured training in analyzing a case. So when I say analyzing, what do I mean? You get a case today, the client comes to you, he offloads, downloads, or dumps the facts on your table. He gives you a file which is full of papers, he forwards you several emails and says, I have been wronged, these are all the facts, these are all the emails, and I need to file a case. But beyond that, he relies totally on you as to how you would look at those facts, how you would look at the evidence which has been presented to you and move forward. He is not qualified in law, but you are. But question is, are you qualified to analyze that particular case? Well, I'm sure you have participated in moot courts, haven't you? Yes. Excellent. So you prepare for moot courts, everybody prepares a different memorial, everybody prepares differently, everybody prepares things differently. But what if we have a structured way, a scientific way of analyzing these things? Don't you think you would be better prepared? Because when you are given a problem, you look at it, you try and understand it, and you work to the best of your ability. But we would like to teach you a method which is a structured method, which is more scientific, which enhances your ability to analyze things in such a way that you are able to become a more efficient lawyer. Now, when we talk about trials, have you heard of trials?
Yes, sir.
So what happens in trials? Can anyone tell me? So everybody said we have heard of it, but what happens in a trial? You are on trial now.
Cross-examination.
Yes, cross-examination, very good. What else happens in a trial? So who comes in the trial, apart from the parties or the lawyers? Witnesses. So how do you handle witnesses? How do you examine the witnesses? How do you cross-examine the witnesses? Is it taught in the law schools? Answer is no. It is not taught in the law schools, and it is not taught once you become a lawyer. You only look at your seniors perform and you pick up a style. You pick up your method of performing cross-examination or examination. But what if there is a structured way of learning these things right in the law school itself? It's going to definitely enhance the way you perform. So think of it, in our curriculum, not only in this university, but in none of the universities in the country, there is any course which teaches you how to prepare for trial. Similarly, when you have to address arguments before a judge, nobody teaches you how to address the court, how to prepare your arguments, how to structure your arguments. What is the mannerism you need to follow when you are appearing before a judge? As Honorable Justice Kakar said, don't appear before my court if you are not prepared. You have to be prepared at all times before the judge. You have to be able to answer the judge's query. And many times, I have seen in my experience, when the judge starts speaking in your favor, you think the judge is against me, and you start stopping the judge immediately. No, my lord, no, my lord. Now, there are things we need to learn. And if we learn here right in the law school, it would be better. It would be better appreciated by the judges. We would hone our skills right here in the law school itself. So these are some of the aspects of skills that we would be talking about as part of this professional advocacy skills course that is being introduced. As a good lawyer, you should be able to carry out legal and factual analysis of the problem that is presented to you and devise a strategy. We call it battle plan, or we call it roadmap. What is the roadmap? You have to achieve the goal. The goal is to get your client some relief. Now, lawyer does his best, but if you don't do your best, you will not get anywhere near the relief that you are seeking. So there, you have to have a battle plan. You have to be able to devise a strategy to reach the goal that you have set out for your client. So how do you do it? You have to learn how to do a good legal and factual analysis of problem that is presented to you. Now, the question is, why are these skills important? You'd say, I know the law, I know contract law, I know the criminal law, I know Indian Penal Code, I know what is section 302, no big deal. But no, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. These skills are important for you to be truly effective in the court. If you are not able to analyze the case, if you are not able to figure out what evidence has to be laid, what documents need to be produced before the court, and how to marshal those facts, how to present your arguments before the court, simple knowledge is not going to be sufficient. So it's important to have these skills. As Justice Midha said, judges are consumers of our skills, isn't it? You go to a restaurant, you order a dish, it's absolutely delicious, you would want it again and again, and you'd feel very happy about it. But you go to an expensive restaurant, the dish is bad, the service is bad, you would say, oh my God, I'll never come back again. So that's the difference between a good lawyer and a bad lawyer. When I say bad lawyer, I mean a lawyer who's not able to present his case efficiently or effectively. So therefore it's important that we have these skills. For the professional advocacy course which is being introduced today, as a first step, and I've been tasked with it, and I'm indeed honored that I've been invited by the university to be a part of this team and to be a part of the teaching faculty for the students here. I'm putting together a module on case analysis for final year students of law. The training methodology that I would follow for this module would involve development of a case, which I will of course share with you in due course. And after an introduction on what is a legal and factual analysis, what is a concept, I would expect each one of you to perform. Because what I believe in is that you always learn when you perform. You don't learn when you are simply listening. Of course you imbibe things, but when you are performing, when you are sitting on the wheels of a car and you put the car in the first gear, you learn how to drive. But if you are simply learning, there's a first gear, second gear, third gear, etc., learning is not complete. So we will sit in the driver's chair, each one of you, and each one of you would perform. And I'm hopeful and I'm confident that each one of you will emerge as a better lawyer pursuant to the skills that you would get out of this course. I want to just dwell in some detail on what is entailed by this analysis. You would have heard this come several times. I have spoken about it in my speech. What all does it entail? As a modern advocate, you should know what are the legal elements of a case which must be established by one side or the other for success in the case. You must know and identify with clarity what are the factual issues or the legal issues in the case. Okay, file has come to you, you have to analyze it first before you put your petition or defense in the court. You must know what facts should be established and by what evidence those facts can be established, as I said earlier. What are the documents that will be admissible? What witnesses need to be called? It's easy to say we'll call witnesses, but how do you determine what witnesses will need to be called? And again, as I said, what arguments to be addressed before the court. So, to sum up, as Justice Midha said, advocacy is nothing but the art of persuasion through communications, and we are going to improve our skills. I'm very hopeful of that, and I'm honored that this opportunity has been given to me to be a part of this program, to be a part of this university. I'm grateful to all who have invited me to be part of this program. And I'm sure that all of you will benefit from this course and would emerge better lawyers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is we who are honored. Thank you for pointing out the intricacies and the art involved in imbibing these practical skills. And we often wonder that in the information age, what is it that as a faculty of law, as teachers, as educators, we can provide to our students? And thank you for shedding the light on us today that it is actually factual analysis and legal analysis. Thank you, sir.
It is my privilege to introduce our eminent chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice K.J. Thakurji, Judge, Allahabad High Court. He has had an illustrious and inspirational career in law. In the earlier years, your lordship has been the recipient of various scholarships in his academic life. Honorable Justice Thakurji joined legal practice with Sri N.J. Mehta and Sri K.S. Nanavati and worked in diverse arenas such as labor laws, service matters, constitutional, civil and criminal matters. In February 1997, your lordship was directly appointed as district judge and further appointed as additional judge of the High Court of Gujarat in 2013. Your Eminence took oath and office at Allahabad High Court on 11th April 2016. His exemplary efforts include the matter of Shankaracharya and several cases related to Motor Vehicles Act. Honorable Dr. Justice K.J. Thakurji has not just amassed great experience and learning across the years, but is a firm believer in disseminating the wisdom and knowledge. Thus, your lordship has imparted training to judicial officers in mediation and successfully conducted several Lok Adalats as chairman of Legal Services Authority for the district. Your lordship is currently pursuing postdoctoral under Padma Shri Dr. J.M. Vyas at the Forensic Sciences University. Your lordship's endeavors have assured that justice should not only be done but seen to be done. The School of Law is eager to receive your pearls of wisdom, sir. Kindly grace the stage with your illuminous presence.
Please. Namaste. Jai Hind. And a very warm afternoon. Why this third word? वरना वो फॉग की हेड आती है ना, वो दो लड़कियां बोलती है ना, लड़का अच्छा है, इसकी आंखों में खोना है, and the second one says परफ्यूम नहीं लगाता है। जैसे आप लोग कल कहेंगे ये कैसे चीफ गेस्ट को लेके आए, हम तो सब कुछ अंग्रेजी में पढ़ने वाले हैं, ये हिंदी में कैसे बोलता है, इसको अंग्रेजी नहीं आती। And next time there will be a resolution by the student union never to call this man. Therefore, so that you may not feel that I don't know English, I speak in English with your permission. मेरी हिंदी भी उतनी अच्छी है, गुजराती भी उतनी अच्छी है, मैं संस्कृत भी ठीक ठाक बोल लेता हूँ। Good afternoon, Honorable Chancellor, sir, Madam, the Vice Chancellor, your beloved to-be Dr. Mida, sir, Professor Emeritus. We have our mentor, Rajiv Vilmani, and I can't forget the Dean. वरना वो तो दोबारा नहीं बुलाएंगे। कुछ भी मैं बोल के जाऊं 1 घंटे के बाद she'll say, here is a man who does not respect me, why should I respect him? He may be a judge in his domain. Therefore the respect is there to the dean. And I formally inaugurate this wonderful course of professional advocacy, skills and extension of free legal and legal aid. As Vilmani ji ने पहले इसको caveat कहते हैं. How many of you understand the meaning of caveat? Somebody. Caveat का मतलब कोई कह दो. Yes, he made us aware. उन्होंने पहले ही शुरू किया कि मेरा ये टाइम था, मैं अब आया हूँ, मैं ज़्यादा नहीं बोलता हूँ. So let me tell you, the art of advocacy is, this is the first sermon which I am giving you. If you are the last speaker, tell the Lordship, my Lord, I adopt what my brothers have to say. I adopt what my brothers have to say. Unless you have genuinely something to add. Otherwise the judge, like you people, right away saying, इतना सारा इन लोगों ने कह दिया, अब ये क्या नया कहेगा? मैं नया कहूँगा, काफी कुछ कहूँगा. वक्त नहीं, काफी कुछ is not वक्त. Let us be very clear. As we are talking about skills. Now, why did Justice Meadha say, and I'll take it from there, why does he say that a person coming out of the law school is not a perfect professional? Why? And I'll demonstrate it from the example which was given by Senior Advocate Shri Varmani. आपके पास कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के लिए आदमी आया, सब किया. You go to your senior where sir, बहुत बढ़िया drafting, बहुत बढ़िया. It's superb. I have been taught drafting by so and so, and sir, this is my first case. आप देखिए. और मेरे जैसा रूड सीनियर होगा तो कहेगा कोर्ट फी कितनी लगेगी? सर वो कल देख के बताता हूँ. If the doctor does this to you, what will you do? You'll spank him right away there. And therefore, these training modules are meant for meeting all these drawbacks which are there in our system, and for which you have your best of the teachers who have to be Chanakya and Dronas. Namely, they don't have to be partisan. And you have to not be only Arjun, you have to be even Chatur. चतुर देखा है ना कि नहीं देखा है? चतुर देखा है कि नहीं? हाँ कि ना तो बोलो. नहीं देखा हो तो वाइस चांसलर साहब को कहूँ कि एक 3 Idiots की मूवी लगाए आप लोगों के लिए. You see, it has a very great meaning being given to you. Forget about what Ilmani says. See, Chatur also got a good job. Right? He was made a fool because he mugged up things. So therefore there is a difference between rational and reasoning. What is the difference between reasoning and what is the difference between rational? This you have to learn, and for that this program. Before I go to my scripted speech, one more aspect. मैं ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लूँगा. मेरा जितना स्लॉट है उससे आधा नहीं लूँगा, because I know 1:30 is my lunch time. And there are still 2 speakers left for you. So don't worry. I'll only take 10 minutes. But I'll tell what I want to tell. Otherwise, Mr. Galgotia will ask me, प्लेन फ्लाइट का फेयर वापस कर दो भैया. तुम्हें बुलाया कहा है ये सब कहने के लिए? See why this course? I told you in the beginning when I came on the podium None of the universities in India have this. And I just quote one preface of 1991, which has a very great impact on me as a law student and as a law teacher. This is Principles and Precedents of Pleadings and Conveyancing by my guru, Sri Yuvam Pandit. This is the preface of that book, written in 1991. In India, the way the training of lawyers is organized in law faculties and colleges, it is barely sufficient to give them basic knowledge of some substantive subjects in law. Why? Why? In our days, the greatest practice in which Armani ji is there was arbitration. हमको arbitration law पढ़ाते नहीं थे स्कूल में. मैं स्कूल क्यों कह रहा हूँ? हमारे वक्त कॉलेज थी. आप लोगों के लिए स्कूल अब क्यों है? आप आज भी यूनिफॉर्म में हो. Why? You are being groomed from today that in your coming careers, coming lives, you have to be dressed properly. You have to be dressed properly. That is the uniform the Britishers have given us, which we are still continuing the lineage. किसी स्ट्रिक्ट जज के यहाँ चले जाइए, बैंड वैंड लगाए बिना, टाई लगाए बिना, कहेंगे gentlemen, please dress up yourself. I know a judge who would not hear a lawyer if he is not properly shaved. Why all this? Because still we have the tag of noble profession. Therefore, these skills which are there in your curriculum, अब इंडिया की किसी भी कॉलेज में चले जाइए, curriculum नहीं मिलेगा आपको. And therefore I requested you to give a standing ovation to your chancellor and Meeda sir. आप कहेंगे उसमें नया क्या है? बहुत नया है. This was never envisioned कि skills सिखाई जाए. See, in our times there were only two moot courts. Only two moot courts. One by the Bar Council of India, which was for universities, and the second was at Pondicherry by the International School of Jesups. No other moot court. You have moot courts for round the year. But let me tell you, moot courts will not take you anywhere. Why? Why? And therefore this new subject of mock trials. Why mock trials, you know? I'll just give you one small example which Mrs. Thakur always used to tell me as far as 5-year-long course students are there. And she always tells me when I go for orientation, ye jara keh dijiyega. She was on the bench as an in-charge Consumer Commission president. And young boys like you, girls like you, would be sent by the senior, the date leke aao. See, the practice in the High Court, practice in the tribunal, practice in the trial courts is quite different. इसीलिए ये कह रहा हूँ. The young lawyer will come and tell कि sir आज अरमानी साहब busy है, तो date दे दीजिए. The learned brother judge who used to sit with her, वो मेरे जैसा देहाती था, अंग्रेजी नहीं बोलता था. तो आप जैसे अंग्रेज आ गए तो प्लीज अप्लाई, प्लीज अप्लाई. अब आप लोग इधर उधर देखते हो कि प्लीज अप्लाई क्या करना है. Then Mrs. Thakur would tell you, please take out a piece of paper, write an application. The boy is again perplexed. What is application? Why application? बगल में बैठा हुआ कहेगा ठीक है लिखिए. The application would be given back. Why? Why? उस पर स्टैंप लगानी पड़ती है. लड़के या लड़की के पास स्टैंप नहीं है, बिकॉज दे आर प्रैक्टिसिंग इन द हाई कोर्ट. Therefore this. Why this mock trials, you know? You all feel that we should practice in the high court, not in the trial courts. We have 5-year law students. Half of you will come out saying that Mr. Albani is going to hire me, I need not think of anything else. But after 1 year, they'll fire you. Why? Stamp nahi hai, kya lagana, kyun lagana? And as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, let me tell you, those who, आप में से कितने उत्तर प्रदेश से है, बिहार से है, हरियाणा से है? ये लोग 5 साल के बाद वकालत नहीं करेंगे मैडम. लेट मी टेल यू, नहीं करेंगे, वकालत नहीं करेंगे. अधिवक्ता का फॉर्म भरेंगे, माता पिता के पैसे पे पीसीएसजे की तैयारी करेंगे. पूछ लीजिए इनमें से, आधे लोग हाथ उठाएंगे. मीडा साहब, मैं आपको प्रैक्टिकल कह रहा हूं. आई वॉज टेकिंग इंटरव्यूज ऑफ 200, देयर वर 200 यंग पीपल. 5 of them I asked, क्या करते हो? सर पीसीएसजे की तैयारी. अरे भैया, उसके अलावा किस अदालत पे जाते? सर नहीं गया. So therefore, in our times, practicing was compulsory for 3 years. Now what you people will do is, you'll get your certificates, go home, sit in the library and prepare for PCSJ. Nothing against it. Then when you are thrown to the bar and Mr. Almani comes to you, where is your wakalatnama? Why? You have not been taught that a senior advocate does not have to file wakalatnama. And you will bully him, you will insult him and get a bad reputation for you. Why? There is nothing wrong in you, but the lack of knowledge. That is what this preface says. I will read further. No proper training for solicitors is available in the universities, colleges, other professional universities as in UK. Thus, generally it is found that in India, we do not have good and expert draftsmen of plains, pleadings, agreements, and other important documents. And there is always a need to have at least some good book for the guidance of the lawyers. This is one aspect which is now redundant. You have 4 universities with you. Why do I call 4 universities? Your teachers teach you. And as Justice Meera told you, to question everybody. मैडम अपना मोबाइल बंद कर दीजिए. वो यूनिवर्सिटी थोड़ी टाइम के लिए बंद रखिए आप. प्लीज डोंट शो डिसरिस्पेक्ट. And I mean it. So in a court, if you are sitting and start working on your mobile, the judge is not going to ask you whether you are seeing the judgments, whether you are finding judgments in that. He will feel offended. Because still, even in the 21st century, we as judges, we have not come to that stage of thinking that yes, a mobile is a semi-laptop which has stored everything in it. So, some of the judges may take it bad. I didn't mean anything for anybody. कोई नहीं देख रहा था क्या? तो आप सब conscious हो गए ना? So, that is the art. Second most thing. Now coming to the other aspect of professional, I don't say about ethics and all. That you are bound to have. As a judge, I need not tell that I am an honest judge. That has to be judged by the people at large. But you have to be kind at heart. Why kind? Why do I tell kind? There are 2 kinds of lawyers. The second I hate. Whose case is litigant. नहीं, इसमें तो जेल होगी है. जैसे अलमानी साहब ने कहा ना, तो क्या इसके लिए आपके पास आए सर? वो तो मुझे भी पता है, मुझे भी पता है, तो बचाने का कुछ कीजिए। What is this बचावा? It is this saving of a litigant which has earned a bad reputation for lawyers. Which is that bad reputation? Can somebody tell me? You are coming in the woods. What is that bad reputation which we have earned? What is that? One person, can you tell me? बताइए. What is that? One word. अधिवक्ता झूठ ही बोलता है. किसके लिए भैया? मैं अपनी रोटी के लिए नहीं बोलता हूं. I am trying to save you. In the moment you tell him this, कि नहीं तुम्हारा केस फर्जी है, ये है, सर मेरी फाइल वापस मिल जाएगी. क्यों? पे मी माई फीस फर्स्ट. सर फीस का है की. And at the same time, as Justice Meeda said, if you are sweet-tongued, हमारे गुजराती में कहते हैं कि जिसको डायबिटीज हो रहा है उसको काढ़ा नहीं पिलाया जाता है. अगर उसको मारना है तो उसको शक्कर दीजिए आप. Do you get my point? What I mean it? The man has come with all pains. He doesn't come to a lawyer walking down. Sir, इसमें क्या होगा? Just tell me, no. Sir, I am feeling feverish. He doesn't come to you. He comes as a last resort to you. And 5 kind words will make him more happy. Half his tension will be over. Half his burden will be over. He'll go highly satisfied and then tell you, sir, अब जो होना है हो. बस जज साहब को जो करना है करो. Leave it to the judge, my lord. One more aspect. किसी ने कहा पत्थर फेंको, मत फेंकिएगा, आप ही के ऊपर आके गिरेगा. क्यों? क्यों आप ही के ऊपर आके गिरेगा? This is not that पत्थर. This is harsh words to your litigant, not that physical patthar. Harsh words. Never use harsh words for your litigant. एक तो ऑलरेडी परेशान है और आप उसको और भाषा में और परेशान करते हो. Make things simpler for him. As such, you see, the legislation is already complex. आप मुझे एक सेक्शन दिखाइए, एक सेक्शन जो सिंपल हो, सीधा हो, सादा हो. मीडा साहब एक का इंटरप्रिटेशन करेंगे, नहीं ऐसा नहीं होता है ठाकर साहब. ठाकर साहब कहेंगे सर ऐसा ही होता है, इसको एक पैसा नहीं देने का. क्यों? इसका कुछ डिसेबिलिटी नहीं आया है. Then he'll tell you, Mr. Thak. I'll tell you one example. I have an insensitive lawyer appearing normally for the insurance companies. I'm telling you this because we are even inaugurating the MSCT. A litigation was going on before me and he was totally berserk. इसको पैसा नहीं दे सकते, बढ़ाना नहीं सकते. We cannot enhance. Why? Well, there is a very ये disability. I said, Mr. So and so, his kneecap has broken. It is removed. He was a driver by profession, and you are saying that disability is not there. Then वो होता है ना, मेरा गुरु गोविंद सिंह जाग गया. मेरा जल्दी जागता है, आप लोगों का मीडा साहब जैसे ठंडे लोगों का बाद में जागता है, मेरा तुरंत जाग गया. मैंने कहा भैया मेरे जीपी फंड में 69 lakhs है. हाउ मच? 69 lakhs. आप अपनी उंगली का जिससे आप लिखते हो, वकालत करते हो, इतना दे दीजिए, मैं 69 लाख दे। अरे भाई ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? Then he is a driver by profession. He has lost everything in life. He is standing there. See, therefore, I am pointing out, be sensitive. Don't fight litigation for the sake of litigation. That is one. If we go by your curriculum, yes, Vice Chancellor Madam ने sign कर दिया, बहुत बोल लिए हो. I'll end up within 3 minutes, which I normally tell my young students. You may be an atheist, I don't mind. You may not believe in God. किसी में तो believe करते हो, माता पिता को मानते हो. Have a sacred place in your heart. A sacred place in your heart, where you should delve and dwell for 10 minutes daily. Why do I tell you this? As a lawyer, you should be at peace with your own self. That will give you immense pleasure at the end of the day. Any time in the day, the place is not important. Place means physical place is not important. जहाँ लगे बैठ जाइए आप. This is it. Much has been said about skills, so I will not repeat it. Now, why mediation? Why mediation? Many say mediation is because the judiciary has failed itself. Sorry, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Yes. Why are there areas? And in the first lecture when I went to Bhopal, Dr. Mohan Gopal said areas are good, pendency is bad. Why? Why do I say that? I am saying with all humility. It shows that the people have faith still in judiciary. People have faith in the litigation-oriented society. And therefore this. Why mediation? Why? See, at times you come to the court to show the man, मैं उसको दिखा दूँगा. He says, you have taken me to the court, now I will show you what it is to take a person to the court. You as lawyers feel, mediation में जाएगा, अपना milching cow चला जाएगा. So you are averse to it. The judge feels, I'll be thought of shirking my duties. So I would not send the matter for mediation. But I of one, even in criminal matters, which are not so grave offences, request parties to go for this alternative dispute. So one more suggestion to Justice Meeda. Sir, आपने जो सिर्फ arbitration और mediation लिखा है, I would request you to renomenclate it to ADR. And that's not alternative dispute, not alternative. Appropriate dispute resolution. See, your college will take you to Lok Adalats. Lok Adalats have a different mode. It has a different ball game. But when it comes to mediation, you can decide everything. You can see in this curriculum, when you learn mediation, you will understand the intricacies of mediation. See, as a first judge in 2004, when we were sent to Bhopal, the mentor who had come from Bombay wanted this mock trial of mediation. So one of my colleagues said, "हम लोग judge हैं, हमको इससे क्या लेना देना है?" I just stopped her. "Madam, you never know the Supreme Court or the High Court. From maybe after 1 year, they may tell judges to mediate." And see, today, Judge and Ex mediation centers have started in the High Courts all through the country. And I would request each student to be a good mediator, please handle mediations. Why? Why? You don't know me much, but the people who know me will not accept this. I sat without water, without food, without uttering a single word for 8 hours. 8 hours, which was against me. KJ Thakur not speaking for 15 minutes is miraculous. Nobody would believe you. 8 hours, and that two doctors at loggerheads. All that I started with was, I do not want to see you sitting there as criminals. I want you to be in your surgery rooms. The biggest doctors of the country, one from Delhi, one from Gujarat. The lawyers were not willing. And let me tell you, I was not given a send-off because that lawyer was the president of the bar. And I took away his milking cow. But let me tell you, at the end of the day, I was more than happy. When we got up at 10:09, the drafts were drawn up, the litigations were over. There were some of the litigations which I could not finish. So I told them to go to the High Court, file 482. And it was, let me tell you, Justice Emar Shah, who concluded it. And they are happy today, their relations have developed. And at the end, I'll not bore you more. 2 more words, which is you should decide your mission in life. What is your mission? Everybody will say, साहब अभी कैसे पता चले, अभी तो फर्स्ट ईयर में आए, लॉ खत्म होगा फिर सोचेंगे, right? The fag and decide what is your mission. Earning money cannot be mission. I'll give you one small example. I was a judge. एक जनाब आए, ट्रायल चल रहा था, he was a witness. उसको पूछते हैं, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, क्या करते हो? नहीं, what is your profession? He said, समाज सेवा. I said, this is where we are today. समाज सेवा को आपने अपना प्रोफेशन बना दिया, धंधा बनाया, कमाने की जरिया बनाया. This is bad. Never make that your profession. Never make that your. It should be your mission, not profession. There are 2 things which I want to. Justice Meadha did not tell you, but that's his zing word. Don't sweat over small things. This book, all of you should read. Google पे available. Don't sweat over small things. And you will say, sir, we sweat only when there are big things. उसमें नीचे लिखा है. And all things are small things. Please read this book. I have given this book to quite a few judges who were tense, who were perturbed, and it has brought their blood pressure down. There's one more book, a very small booklet, I would not even say book. You can negotiate anything and everything. This is a very nice book. Why do I say so? As rightly said, what is law? Law क्या है? Law क्या है? When I started, my father taught me one thing. He was a very great lawyer, a great judge. And I at the fag end of, when I started practice, I cursed him. Why did you join the judiciary? आज आप वकालत में होते, हमको कहीं और तो नहीं जाना पड़ता. So this was his word. I wanted to serve the nation. That was his mission. Second and the third aspect which I would like to tell you and end my so-called address. Richard Bach is a very good author. His book Illusions, I always keep it at my side. You should read it. If you don't want to read the entire book, there are excerpts. And one great excerpt is your mission on earth over? आप लोग कहेंगे सर अभी तो मिशन का, अभी तो पढ़ने आए, अभी तो फीस भी नहीं इकट्ठा की, पढ़ लिख के माता पिता को देना है बहुत. ठीक. The answer is till you are alive, it's not. Once again, thank you for listening me very patiently. Thank you, Chancellor sir. Thank you, Buddha sir, for inviting me. Ashok, जितने प्रोफेसर हैं उनको दे दे और एक अपने लिए रख. So he has come all the way from Allahabad with my other colleague. अब उनको क्या लेना है इनसे? उसने तो सारी स्किल पढ़ ली है, तो जज है. थैंक यू फॉर योर लव. मुझे तो अच्छा लगता है. I love it. और मैं तो कहता हूं, जब भगवान को अपनी तारीफ पसंद है तो हम तो पावन मनुष्य हैं. And do unto others what you would like them to do to you. ये एक मंत्र जिंदगी भर जाएगा. You don't want to be insulted, don't insult. That doesn't make you a soft-spoken person. I tell you, at the end of this day, I have met Amitabh Bachchan, जो इस पे इतना वाइब्रेंट देखते ना, बड़ी आवाज मेरे जैसी. In reality, जब वो बोलता है, यहाँ से मैम नहीं सुन सकती. I had to tell him के साथ थोड़ा, इतना सॉफ्ट स्पोकन आदमी. Soft spoken doesn't mean you can't put your foot down. I'll tell you one example. आप लोग बैठिए, बहुत बढ़िया. Just 2 minutes. ये मेरे दिल में था जो कहना था. What is soft spoken? I'll just give you one example. I had a very nice brother judge sitting with me, a very soft spoken judge. भैया एक दे दे तू, कैमरा वाले को दे दे. See, I have a bad habit. I don't like hearing long arguments unless necessary. So, under the criminal jurisprudence, what I do is, okay, granted. अब मेरी ये आवाज हस्की है, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? खुदा को तो कह नहीं सकता. उनको कह दिया कि अगले जन्म में दिलीप कुमार वाली आवाज देगा. तो उन्होंने कहा तुम मनुष्य बनोगे, इसकी क्या खातिर? मैंने बोला जो भी बनूंगा कुछ तो बनूंगा, क्योंकि मैंने पाप किया है, दोबारा आना ही है इधर. मेरे को मोक्ष नहीं चाहिए. So I would tell this, and the lawyer would feel bad. Why? Why he would feel bad? कि सर आपने हमको सुना नहीं, हमारा मौकिल पीछे बैठा है, and you have just given us relief. वो तो यही समझेगा कि जज ने दिया है, हमारा कुछ नहीं है. भैया वाइस चांसलर को तो दे, दोबारा बुलाए. अशोक, judge of mine would hear the gentleman for 1 year, 1 hour. मैं कहूँगा सर बहुत लोग, नहीं, we should give them patient hearing. And I would then tell you, और उसके बाद इसको patient बनाओगे, तो क्या हाँ, ठीक. After 1 hour of hearing, he would very softly say, sorry. my brother is not agreeable. फिर मैं कहता हूँ सर मैं तो day 1 से agreed हूँ. Granted. See, being soft-spoken is not that you hear a man for 1 hour, then tell politely, rejected. You want to reject it, reject it. You want to grant, grant. Thank you, bye-bye.
बैठ जाओ।
थैंक यू सर। आपके शब्दों ने हम सबको ऊर्जा और नैतिकता से उजागर कर दिया है। सर, हम आपको आश्वासन देते हैं और पूरा प्रयास करेंगे गलगोटिया यूनिवर्सिटी स्कूल ऑफ लॉ का अगला कदम पिछले से हमेशा बेहतरीन हो।
सही है कि गलत है? क्यों गलत है? क्यों गलत है? तो ब्रिटिशर सिखा गए ना। आपने पुरानी कमेंट्री में कभी बेटर यूज सुना है? That the better is so good. ये मांजरे का यूज करता है। ये मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ, see we have been using this word dealt. There are difference in dealt and DWELL. हमारे कई हाई कोर्ट के सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट में I would not dwell into this. मैंने ये अपने थीसिस में लिखा। वो ऑस्ट्रेलियन जो मेरा थीसिस चेक करता था, पहले ही ये लिखा, he does not know proper English. It is not according to the Australian standard. भाई मेरी अंग्रेजी इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड की मुताबिक है. It is below 0%. And one more aspect, I have been telling people. Yesterday I told one of the ex-chief justices that, sir, I have admired your judgments like anything. Why? Why? ये मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ, I want this interactive session for 5 minutes. कि आपको तो यहाँ खाना मिलना नहीं ना, उससे जाके खाना खाना। आप तो 5 मिनट हुई, मैच नहीं बंद होगा, कह दीजिए। 5 minutes I'll take off here. Whom would you like to see? Would you like to see Amir Khan's movie, Amitabh Bachchan's movie, या जो वो हाई-फाई आता है, मैं उनके नाम भी नहीं जानता, जो इतना टेंशन ला देंगे, ये होगा, वो होगा. You would like to relax, right? Similar is the case with judgments. I would love to read Justice Meeta's judgments sentence. I don't underestimate Justice Krishna here. I would not love to read it. Why? This is what I wanted to tell you. As lawyers, keep a small pocket dictionary in your pockets. And daily, try to learn 5 good spellings and their meanings. दूसरा, जैसे साहब ने कहा, इसलिए रिपीट नहीं कर रहा हूं, अपनी मैडम ने कहा शायद, अपनी मातृभाषा से जुड़े रहिए. क्यों मातृभाषा से जुड़े रहना? कहीं गलती से ट्रायल कोर्ट में जाना पड़ा, मेरे जैसा जज मिल गया जो देहाती है, मीणा साहब जैसा अंग्रेज का जानकार नहीं है, आपको कहेगा कि भैया क्या करना है. How many of you are from Gujarat? एक तो ज्यादा हिंदी में बोलना ज्यादा अच्छा है. एक के लिए पूरे लोगों को बर्बाद करना ठीक है. That is what the law says. For the benefit of more, you cannot sacrifice single, and you cannot sacrifice the rights of majority of people. For this is reasoning and rational. देख लीजिएगा इसको. So you should be aware with your language, you know, because there may be books which are not available in English, and you have learned everything in English. कोई मातृभाषा ही नहीं आती, वो जज कहेगा 63 कितना होता है? You are dumbfounded. Don't do that. जैसे I have been telling आचार्य देवदत्त अभी आए थे 19 को. आपने किसी रशियन को इंग्लिश में भाषण देते सुना? चाइनीज को, इंग्लिशमैन को हिंदी में सुना है? अमेरिकन को गुजराती में बोलते हैं? तो आप मराठी हो कि कहे अंग्रेजी में ही ठोकोगे हम पे. मैं ये नहीं कहता हूं, मैं अंग्रेजी के खिलाफ नहीं हूं, मैं अंग्रेजी के खिलाफ नहीं. और इसके लिए तो हिंदी भाषा दिवस जब होता है ना, तो मुझे बुलाते हैं. बिकॉज while hearing writ petitions, I would tell lawyer, आपको अगर हिंदी में बहस करनी है, अपनी पिटीशन हिंदी में ड्राफ्ट करो. Why? जुड़े रहो. इसलिए कल से मैडम के सामने हंगामा नहीं करने का भाई, कि हम हमारी सारी किताबें हिंदी में कर देंगे. जस्टिस ठाकर कह के गए, डोंट कोट मी, यू हैव टू लर्न इन इंग्लिश ओनली. बट एज ए सेकेंड लैंग्वेज हम पढ़ते थे ना स्कूल्स में, इसलिए यहाँ हिंदी नहीं पढ़ाई जाती, मातृभाषा गुजराती नहीं पढ़ाई जाती, because that has been taught to you till 12th standard. Am I clear? Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, sir. It has been the most amazing and interactive session we have had so far. The program has drawn to a close.
किसी को कोई पूछना है? दो ही किस्म के इंसानों को पूछना नहीं होता. दो ही किस्म के, एक मेरे जैसे जिसको सब कुछ नहीं आता हो, और एक मीडा साहब जैसे जिसको सब कुछ आता हो. अब आप लोग तय कर लो आप किस पे हो. मेरे वाले में तो पढ़ते रहो, दुखी होते रहो. मैं 7 साल से पढ़ने जा रहा हूँ, डिग्री लेने जा रहा हूँ, क्या करूँ? जय हिंद.
देखिए, जो शुरुआत हमने की थी कि कम्युनिकेशन स्किल की कैसे आप अपनी बात से दूसरे को मोह लें एक ही इंटरेक्शन में, तो आज ये उसका सबसे बड़ा जीता जागता एग्जाम्पल है. कैसे आपने पहले भी कई लेक्चर सुने होंगे, बहुत बड़े बड़े जूरिस्ट यहाँ आए होंगे, बट इनकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल देखिए, इन्होंने कैसे अपनी बातों से आपको बिल्कुल हिप्नोटाइज कर दिया. तो अगर आप वकालत में जाएं और प्रोफेशन में जाएं और ऐसी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल डेवलप करें, ठीक है ना, तो आप जो है बिल्कुल यू विल बी टॉप लॉयर. ठीक है, थैंक यू.
सीनियर बोले और फिर सीनियर ना बोले तो ये तो आर्टिकल 14 वायलेट.
So I can only say, once the judgment is pronounced, I only say, yes, my lord, I am grateful.
एक आगे कड़ी ले लेता हूँ. हमको ब्रिटिशर्स इतने कमजोर करके गए हैं कि अगर आप अधिवक्ता को ये कह दो, what nonsense are you arguing? Oblige, my lord. Why I am telling you this? We are trained for that. इसलिए कल से oblige नहीं कहने का नहीं कह रहा हूँ. नहीं, मुझे ना कहे तो मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Because I don't oblige anybody. You get orders if you have the law with you. You go out of my court, go to Ganga. if there is nothing.
So, one of the important aspects of advocacy skills that you will learn is ethics, right? And in ethics, you will also learn that as lawyers, our first duty is to the court. We are called officers of the court, and that doesn't come without responsibility. So please remember, when you enter the profession, and we'll talk about it more when we interact with you in classes, that as lawyers, our first duty is to the court. It is above our duty to the clients, to the fellow lawyers, etc. Because we are there to help in administration of justice. We are not there to win a case for our clients by hook or by crook. No, that's not the purpose, that's not the aim. Our profession is called noble profession and not without reason. So please remember, when my Lord Justice said that a lawyer will say obliged, that is because the first duty of every lawyer is to the court. Thank you.
I did not sorry. नहीं साहब ने इतना कहा इसलिए बोलना पड़ा. See, hook or crook or this or that, that does not mean that as young lawyers you give up. Why? I'll tell you my own example. We two colleagues were standing, and one of the lordship was one of the very strict judges who was then later on elevated. Why are you not conceding in your matters? My colleague was dumbfounded. Sir, kya kare, ye, wo. I said, sir, ill manners be pardoned. Gujarati word hai, abhay vachan apo to kau, ne je kale tame mari badi matter dismiss karo. What I told is, if you give me assurance that you will not, I'll be pardoned for what I am telling you. Otherwise, you will dismiss all my matters tomorrow. I told him, my lord, we are juniors. The moment I concede a case, an image will be set in your mind that I am a corrupt advocate and therefore I am giving up. Therefore, we cannot. My senior can do it. In walks my senior. He says, why should he concede? Is he being paid for conceding things? Why as a judge do you not give relief to the young boy? And the judge was dumbfounded. See, there were pros and cons about this. And one more thing which, my first experience as first day, normally first day nobody will give you, this is where it took me back to my first day of advocacy. Sir, जब साहब ने कहा ना, I want a lawyer to argue on the first day of his becoming a lawyer, मेरा पहला ही दिन था, 7th of September, I got my sanad. I was told by my senior that we are at serial number 3. I am going to the Central Administrative Tribunal. You take adjournment. Tell him to keep it at 2 p.m. This was what I was told. And then he gave me कि ना कहे तो इन्हीं के पास बहस कर लेना, ये जज के सिवा तेरी ये मैटर कोई एडमिट नहीं करेगा. I said okay. I requested the judge, my lord, why are you going on saying my lord, my lord? My lord, I am my first day. Serial number 3, my lord, the lordship may keep it at 2 p.m. Why? Have you got your gold medals to mention these matters? Tell Mr. Mehta that you will be arguing this matter. My lord, he is in Central Administrative Tribunal. And let me tell you, I didn't use this word Central Administrative Tribunal. I used the word, my lord, he is in CAT. Because I was so scared. He was one of the... He was Kaushal Thakur of those days. No, nothing. Oh. I waited for my turn. My other senior, my senior colleague, pulled out my gown. अब वो कह रहा है तो बहस कर लेना. साहब ने कहा है ना तुझे. हाँ. I started arguing. After 3 minutes, appeal admitted, stay granted. Thank you. I said, sir, but my senior will come and at 2 o'clock to say something. Dismissed. Tell your senior that if he comes in this matter, it will be dismissed with cause. अब क्या करना? क्या करना? I said, my lord, thank you. I walked out. So you should be prepared for the worst to come on day one of your practice. And as Justice Meena and Almani ji said, अगर जज आपको कोई प्रश्न पूछता है तो ऐसा नहीं है कि he is against you. Try to come out of that. There may be times when you may not like to answer that query. उसको किसी और में उलझाए रखो और जब वो पैसिफाई हो जाए तब उस क्वेरी का जवाब दे दीजिए. थैंक यू. बाय.
बातों से दो इंसिडेंट याद आ गए आपसे शेयर करूंगा मैं. एक वो दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में चीफ जस्टिस थे, मुझे नाम ऑफेंड याद नहीं आ रहा, उनके साथ जस्टिस लीला सेठ बैठते थे लास्ट टाइम से पहले.
नाम छोड़िए ना. तो आप लोगों ने मेरा पूरा टक्कर कर दिया है.
तो जस्टिस लीला सेठ ने कहा भाई हर रिट पिटीशन के नीचे पिटीशनर लिखता है फॉर दिस एक्ट ऑफ काइंडनेस द पिटीशनर शैल एवर प्रे, बट ये नहीं लिखता व्हाट ही विल प्रे. उनका वो इसलिए नहीं लिखता दैट विल डिपेंड ऑन व्हाट रिलीफ वी गेट. तो ये जो अप्लाई है इसका भी यही मीनिंग है कि जो है वो इसलिए वो आगे क्या प्रेयर करेगा वो नहीं लिखता. सो आई थॉट आई विल शेयर. और इंसिडेंट याद आ रहा है यार, तो दूसरा चला जाए 2 मिनट
के बाद थैंक्सगिविंग के बाद तो आज मैच पे खाना मिलना नहीं.
थैंक यू.
Thank you, sir. I must say before we end that we have honorable guests today, but they're just as entertaining, and we've had a great time learning as well as enjoying with them. The program is drawn to a close, and I'm sure we are so enriched through the interaction today. As a token of our gratitude towards your gracious presence amongst us today, we would like to present our honorable guest with a memento and a shawl. May I please request Sri Sunil Galgotia, Chancellor, Galgotias University, to present the memento and shawl to our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice Kaushal J. Thakur, Judge, High Court Adjudicator at Allahabad. Thank you, sir. May I please request Dr. Preeti Bajaj, Vice Chancellor, Galgotias University, to present the memento and shawl to our guest of honor, Senior Advocate Mr. R.K. Virmani. Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Namita Singh Malik, Dean, School of Law.
ना आप ये प्रोग्राम रखते, ना ये इनॉग्रेशन होता, ना मैं आ पाता.
We will request Dr. Namita Singh Malik, Dean, School of Law, to kindly grace us and address the gathering with a vote of thanks for our dignitaries.
Respected distinguished guest on the dais, Honorable Dr. Justice K.J. Thakur, Senior Advocate Mr. R.K. Virmani sir, Honorable Mr. Justice G.R. Medda sir, Honorable Chancellor sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor Ma'am, Director Operations, Aradhana Madam, my faculty colleagues, invited guests, and my dear students. ऐसी बानी बोलिए मन का आपा खोए और उनको शीतल करे आपनो शीतल होए। आज इस सभी के दौर में करते हुए मैं चाहूँगी कि बहुत रेयर होता है सर कि कितनी बार हम इवेंट्स कराते हैं, हम वेट करते हैं हमारे बच्चे सुनेंगे, एंगेज होंगे या नहीं होंगे, लेकिन आज इस सभा का जो पूरा का पूरा एक पूरा जो ऑरा है वो ही बहुत अलग लेवल पर पहुंच गया है, because very rarely we find that we have people who are able to encourage the faculty, the students with their inspiring words which are quoted in numerous tone, and but yes, wrapped in with a lot of learning, wisdom and intellect. To begin with, I would like to propose my vote of thanks to our honorable chief guest today. Sir, thank you so much for being here with us. The way you have emphasized upon so many things, the way you have done the ice breaking when you enter the venue itself, giving the value and the recognition to our students, those NCC students, the way you are able to connect to our audience, our students, the faculty, the importance of discipline, uniform, which we always emphasize our students that if you want to come to the profession, be in uniform, learn to carry that with the grace. The way you have emphasized upon so many things, sir. Thank you so much. We are truly honored. Thank you. I'm also thankful, very thankful to our honorable guest of honor, Vidmani sir. The way, sir, you're carrying yourself with the aura, with the personality, and the way you have explained the importance of structural training and the practical example structural training and the importance of mock trial to the students and also to the faculty, so that we also change our routine and regular ways of teaching, and we should ensure that our students are learning and are being able to skill in what is required for the day. Thank you so much, sir, for your words. I'm also thankful to Justice J. sir for carving out this and designing this holistic course on professional advocacy, which is one of the kind wherein the students will be trained on production thinking, dramatics, logical reasoning and communication skills, and I'm sure, sir, our students would be performing much better, and they will really shine out in the coming time in the various platforms. Thank you so much, sir. I'm also thankful to Honorable Chancellor, sir, for always supporting the School of Law, all the tremendous support which sir has extended by providing all kind of resources. Very thankful to Honorable Vice Chancellor ma'am for guiding us in executing any of the events, and also giving us again and a note today that we must use our local language also when we are doing it, but yes, more when our seniors say this, it gives a green flag to all of us that yes, what we are doing is doing right. So thank you so much, ma'am. Also thankful to Ms. Aradhana Galgotia ma'am for being so actively engaged and concerned about the growth and the activities in School of Law. Thank you to all my faculty colleagues, all the organizing committee, my student volunteers, and all the students, everybody in the auditorium for being such a wonderful audience. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for always being a source of inspiration and motivation, and for such kind words. Now I request everyone present here to please stand up in respect of national anthem.
शुभ नामे जागे, तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा, जन